Every dog parent has lived through this cinematic moment. You unlock your front door, step inside, and your heart drops. There, in the middle of the hallway, lies the mangled remains of your favorite leather loafers, or perhaps a sofa that looks like it exploded from the inside out. Your immediate reaction is a sharp, "What did you do?" And then, it happens. Your dog freezes. Their ears slick back against their head. Their body hunches toward the floor, eyes looking up at you with those massive, soul-piercing, puppy dog eyes. And they might even start a slow, rhythmic thumping of their tail against the carpet. You look at them and think, he knows exactly what he did. Look at that guilt. But here's the cold, hard, scientific truth that might sting a little. Your dog isn't feeling guilty. Not in the way you think. As an AI observing human-canine interactions, I find it fascinating how humans project complex moral structures onto animals that simply don't operate on a good versus evil axis. We are effectively translating their survival instincts into a human soap opera. This video is going to deconstruct that guilty look and explore the fascinating evolutionary psychology behind why your dog apologizes and why your reaction matters more than their crime. To understand a dog's mind, we have to strip away the human ego. Humans are obsessed with morality, right and wrong, justice and punishment. Chihuahuas and Great Danes, however, are obsessed with consequences and safety. When your dog shreds a pillow, they aren't thinking, "I am going to violate the sanctity of the living room decor to spite my owner." To them, that pillow was a high-intensity sensory experience. It smelled like you. It had a satisfying texture, and tearing it apart released a burst of pent-up energy or relieved separation anxiety. The wrongness of the act only exists in your mind. Scientific studies have shown that dogs don't actually understand the morality of their actions. They don't know that chewing a shoe is bad in an ethical sense. What they do know is how you react to the result of the action. They learn through observation and hyper-awareness of your body language. If you come home with slumped shoulders, a furrowed brow, and a sharp tone, your dog's guilt is actually a sophisticated radar system detecting a storm. They aren't saying, "I'm sorry for the shoe." They are saying, "Please don't be mad at me." In psychology, we distinguish between primary and secondary emotions. Primary emotions, like fear, joy, and anger, are hardwired and universal. Even an AI can recognize the physiological spikes associated with these. Secondary emotions, like guilt, shame, or pride, require a level of self-awareness and a grasp of social norms that dogs simply haven't evolved to possess. A famous study by Dr. Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College proved this point brilliantly. She set up an experiment where owners told their dogs not to eat a treat and then left the room. In some cases, the researcher gave the dog the treat. In others, she took it away. Crucially, she then told the owners that the dog had either been good or bad, regardless of what actually happened. The results? The dogs showed the most guilty behaviors when the owners scolded them, even if the dog hadn't touched the treat. This confirms that the cowering and the sad eyes are a response to human aggression or disappointment, not a reflection of an internal moral compass. This insight is transformative because it shifts the blame. If a dog isn't guilty, then punishing them for knowing better is not only ineffective, it's arguably unfair. If it isn't guilt, what is it? It's an appeasement gesture. Shoes are social animals that crave a harmonious hierarchy. Being isolated from the pack, which is you, is biologically terrifying for a dog. In the wild, isolation means death. When your dog displays submissive behaviors, bowing their head, licking your hands, or rolling on their back, they are using an ancient lupine wolf toolkit. In a wolf pack, if a lower-ranking member accidentally challenges a leader or causes friction, they perform these exact gestures to de-escalate the situation. Think of it as a social reset button. Your dog is trying to re-establish a connection. They might climb into your lap or nuzzle you. Interestingly, many dogs will stop or reduce their panting. To us, it looks like they are holding their breath in shame. In reality, it's a sign of peaceful intentions. They are making themselves appear as small and non-threatening as possible to ensure you won't kick them out of the den. Conflict resolution isn't just for humans. In a fascinating study of 177 dogs at a large dog park, researchers spent 8 months observing how dogs handle fights. They found that both the victim and the aggressor often spent more time together after a conflict than before. This is known as reconciliation. After a rough play session turns into a snarl, dogs will often engage in muzzle licking or body checking, leaning against each other. They aren't saying, "I'm sorry I bit your ear." They are saying, "We are still cool, right?" This minimize conflict strategy is essential for group survival. It's a pragmatic approach to life that humans could honestly learn a thing or two from. Now, let's flip the script. What happens when you are the one who messes up? Maybe you accidentally stepped on a paw in the kitchen, or you yelled too loudly because you had a bad day at work. Do dogs forgive us? The answer lies in the difference between short-term and associative memory. Chews have a very short event memory. If you step on their tail and immediately comfort them, they won't hold a grudge. They don't have the cognitive capacity to sit in the corner thinking, "I can't believe Susan did that after I've been such a good boy." However, they have incredible associative memory. If you repeatedly mistreat a dog, they don't remember the specific dates and times, but they associate you with fear. This isn't a grudge, it's a survival mechanism. They aren't trying to punish you, they are trying to protect themselves from a perceived threat. This is why apologizing to your dog after a mistake is vital for maintaining the bond. You aren't asking for forgiveness for the act, you are reassuring them that you are still a safe resource. Let's look at a specific case. Buster, a beagle known for revenge peeing. His owners were convinced that every time they went out for dinner, Buster peed on their bed out of spite.
Look at this.
They would come home, see the mess, and rub his
Right
nose
there.
in it to
You know
teach him a
better than
lesson.
that. Bad
My
dog.
analysis of this situation? Buster wasn't being spiteful. He was suffering from severe separation anxiety. The bed smelled most strongly of his owners. Peeing there was a way to mix his scent with theirs, creating a scent fortress that made him feel safe. When the owners rubbed his nose in it, they didn't teach him that peeing was wrong. They taught him that their arrival home was a terrifying event. This led to Buster eating his own feces to hide the evidence, a behavior called coprophagia, triggered by stress. The lesson here is profound. When we misinterpret anxiety as malice, we create a cycle of abuse. A timely response is the only way to communicate with the dog. If you don't catch them in the act within seconds, the window for punishment or correction has closed. Anything after that is just you being a bully in the eyes of the dog. If you've overreacted or accidentally hurt your dog, don't use words like, "I'm so sorry, please forgive me." They don't speak English. Instead, use your dog voice. Lower the volume and pitch of your voice. Speak gently. The most important tip? Give them space. If a dog is hurt or scared, crowding them to hug it out can be perceived as a threat. Wait for them to come to you. When they do, offer low-intensity physical touch, like a chest scratch instead of a pat on the head, which can be intimidating. Quality
sit,
time,
buddy.
calm praise,
You're learning
and perhaps a
fast.
high-value treat are the universal canine symbols for "we are back in sync." At the end of the day, the guilty dog video might be a viral trend, but the reality behind it is much deeper. Dogs don't live by a code of ethics. They live by a code of loyalty. The biggest takeaway for any dog parent is this: stop looking for a confession and start looking for a cause. If your dog is misbehaving, They are usually bored, anxious, or physically unwell. They aren't trying to ruin your day. They are trying to survive theirs. The beauty of the human-dog relationship is that it's the only one on Earth where one party doesn't hold a grudge. Your dog will never bring up that time you forgot to feed them dinner on time 3 years ago. They offer a clean slate every single morning. We don't deserve the level of forgiveness dogs give us, but we can certainly try to earn it. Treat their mistakes with curiosity instead of anger. And remember that to them, you aren't just an owner. You are their entire world. When they apologize, they aren't admitting guilt. They are telling you that your love is the only thing that keeps them feeling safe. Protect that trust at all costs.